So children, in the previous class, we studied about some of the pre-Mendelian ideas who tried to explain the cause behind inheritance, that why do offsprings resemble their parents, right? But most of these ideas were based on the blending theory. And what is there according to the blending theory? The offsprings always will have a mix of both the characters from both the parents, right? But this blending idea was not actually the correct idea, because if suppose one of the parent is black and one of the parent is white, so as per blending idea, the offspring should always have an intermediate color between black and white, but it's not so. Child can be black in color, can be white in color, can have different shades in between black and white color, right? So it was Mendel, Gregor Johann Mendel, who in 1866 proposed that inheritance is controlled by paired units or factors, which are now called as genes, right? So though it was started, we had an introduction about Mendel, but let's start about Mendel once again from the very beginning, right? So Mendel was actually born to a farmer's family on 22nd July in 1822, right? He was a brilliant student and he studied philosophy for several years in the school. After that, after completing his school education, he joined Augustinian monastery, or religious place where monks live, right? And where was this Augustinian monastery? It was at Brunn. So he joined there at the age of 21. After 4 years, at the age of 25, he was made the priest over there. Okay. Then, after teaching for some years, in 1851, he was sent to the University of Vienna for completing his higher studies. आगे की पढ़ाई के लिए उसको भेजा गया, right? And what did he study there? He studied botany and physics. Okay. After that, he again returned to Brunn and joined the same monastery, and he taught there physics and natural science for about 14 years. And in between, he was even made the head, the abbot of the monastery. And the title Gregor was added to his name when he joined monastery at Brunn. Matlab, what was the real name of Mendel? It was Johann Mendel. And Gregor was actually the title which was added later on, right? So while living in the monastery, Mendel observed that there were many pea plants, and those pea plants were showing different varieties in terms of height, in terms of flower color, right? Many varieties were present. So he actually got interested in that garden pea plant. Scientific name of garden pea plant is Pisum sativum. So he got interested in the garden pea plant, right? So, and he thought of starting his experimentation on it. So initially he took 34 pairs of characters, but he found that it is going to be a problem. So he reduced the number of characters to 22. And at last, he selected only 7 pairs of characters for his hybridization experiments. What were those 7 pairs of characters? We'll see very soon, right? And before starting the experiment, he selected the pure breeding lines or the parents for every trait, right? So what is a pure breeding line? Or which of the plant could be selected as parent? Suppose there is a tall plant which is to be selected as a parent. So that tall plant should only produce tall plants up to 5 to 6 generations. Then only it will be considered to be a pure breeding variety for tallness or could be selected as a tall parent for carrying on hybridization experiments. Right? So like that, out of the 7 pairs of characters he chose, those were plant height, those were flower color, flower position, pod color, pod shape, seed color, seed shape, and for every character he selected, he developed the pure breeding varieties, right? And his sampling size was also quite large. Matlab in every generation he was actually observing around 10,000 pea plants, right? So like that he obtained several generations. He kept a record of each and every generation, the number of seeds, the variety of seeds, the variety of plants that were developed in every generation, and he was the first one to use statistical analysis. He analyzed the result on the basis of statistics because his sampling size was very, very large, right? And he used mathematical logic to explain his experiment, right? He then made certain generalizations, and those generalizations were actually read in the meeting of the Science Society at Brunn, right? And it was even published in the magazine in the year 1866. And after doing all this, Mendel died in the year 1884 without getting any recognition for his work. उसके काम के लिए उसको कोई recognition नहीं मिला, कोई पहचान नहीं मिली, और वो 1884 में उसका death हो गया. Okay, the question is, why did not he get recognition for his work? And when actually his work was recognized, his work was recognized 34 years after his death. पेपर वो कब पब्लिश किया था? तो इनफैक्ट द रिजल्ट वॉज पब्लिश्ड इन 1866 and his work was recognized around in 1900. Okay, so what was the reason? Number one, the first reason was the limited circulation of the journal, of the magazine in which his work was published, right? Number two, use of statistical methods. वो जो statistics का theory लगाया था अपने result को explain करने के लिए, mathematical logic लगाया था, that were much ahead of his time. Right? मतलब that those were beyond understanding of the scientists at that time. Scientists उसकी बात को समझ ही नहीं पाए थे, वो इतना आगे देख रहा था. Okay. Number three, he could not prove the existence of factors. ये factors क्या है, chemically किससे बना हुआ है, कहाँ पे present होता है, how are they playing a role in the transmission of characters. He was unable to prove the existence. Okay, and another reason was that the scientific world was being rocked at that time by Darwin's theory of evolution. Everybody was thinking that it is something, a breakthrough, a very big theory in terms of evolution. So none of them actually paid attention towards his theory, right? And he died in the year 1884. Okay. Now, after his death, long after his death, three scientists, Hugo de Vries, Carl Correns, and Eric von Schermach, in the year 1900, when they started working on heredity, on inheritance, then they noticed that whatever they are doing now, actually that was done long before, 34 years back by Mendel. Right? So after that only he was awarded the title Father of Genetics. Got it? And what was the experimental material? The experimental material, as we all know, was garden pea. Right? And scientific name of garden pea is Pisum sativum. This name is not given in NCERT book. And 2n is equal to 14. It has 14 chromosomes in it. Right? So, why was Darwin so successful? The biggest reason behind his success was He was lucky in terms of selection of the material. Garden P proved to be very lucky for him. How? Because Garden P showed a number of easily detectable characters in terms of height, in terms of flower color, flower position, so many characters, so many variations. Okay, now Garden P is a bisexual flower which has both male and female sex organs, and it normally undergoes cell pollination. We know that it has got both clistogamus, that is closed flower, as well as chasmogamus, that is open flowers. But the flower structure is like that कि it can easily be crossbred manually. आराम से इसमें cross breeding perform किया जा सकता है, right? Now Garden P is an annual plant. Annual plant means it has a very short lifespan. So, hardly it has a lifespan of 3 to 4 months. So many generations could be observed within a short span of time. देखो हर चीज के पीछे की लॉजिक को समझने की कोशिश करोगे तब जाकर के तुमको पॉइंट याद रहेगा, ठीक है? तो एनुअल प्लांट है, तो एनुअल प्लांट होने से फायदा क्या हुआ कि so many generations could be observed within a short span of time. Okay, then Garden P produced a large number of seeds in every generation. Okay, and it can be grown easily anywhere without much care. So that way he was lucky in terms of selection of the plant experimental material, right? Now what was his technique? Number one, he started his experiment by selecting the pure parent plants. As I told you all earlier, कितना character वो एक बार में select किया था, तो he had selected 7 pairs of characters, right? And what were those 7 pairs of characters? It's given in the book, NCERT book. Just see the diagram. First one was the stem height, right? And what were the contrasting characters in stem height? Tall and dwarf. Flower position, axial and terminal. Axial matlab flower is born on the axis. Terminal means flower is born on the tip, right? Then another character was pod color. Pod color, green and yellow. Likewise, pod shape, मटर का फली का shape. So either it is inflated or full, or it is constricted, pitch का हुआ, right? Then comes flower color. Flower color, violet or white. Okay. Then seed color. So seed color were yellow and green, and seed shape, round and wrinkled. Wrinkle means not so round in shape. So flower stem height, flower position, pod color, pod shape, flower color, seed color, seed shape were the 7 characters selected by Mendel for his experiments, right? And for every trait he grew pure breeding plant. As I have explained, suppose he wants the experiment to be done with the stem height. तो stem height में जो 2 parent होगा कैसा होगा? One will be tall and another will be dwarf, right? So pure breeding tall plant means that plant only will be selected as a pure breeding tall plant or a parent plant, which will produce only tall plant up to 6 to 7 generations. Okay, likewise a dwarf parent plant will be that one which will produce only dwarf plant up to several generations. एक भी generation में अगर dwarf plant से एक tall plant आ जाएगा, then it is going to be rejected. So that was the first step for his experiment. Okay. Second, he performed hybridization of the pure plants. जैसे अगर हाइट की बात कर रहे हैं तो 2 पेरेंट क्या हो गया? टॉल और ड्वार्फ. तो टॉल और ड्वार्फ प्लांट के बीच में वो क्या कराया? क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग कराया. और क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग से जो रिजल्ट हुआ, व्हाट वाज दैट? दैट वाज द फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंड इट वाज नेम्ड एज F1 जनरेशन. F स्टैंड्स फॉर फिलियल. फिलियल मीन्स ऑफस्प्रिंग, ठीक है? तो आफ्टर क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग ही गॉट F1 जनरेशन. और क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग कराने से पहले उसको क्या करना पड़ा? तो he had to perform emasculation. Since pea plant is a bisexual plant, so one flower was to be made as male and another was to be made as female. ठीक है, जिसको फीमेल बनाना था उसका सारा मेल पार्ट को रिमूव कर दिया एट एन अर्ली एज, और जिसको मेल पार्ट बनाना था उसका फीमेल पार्ट रिमूव, दो इट वाज नॉट नेसेसरी बट इट वाज रिमूव्ड, राइट. सो आफ्टर इमैस्कुलेशन at an early stage, the female flower was bagged. Bagging of male flower was not required, right? Female flower was bagged, and then when the stigma became mature, desired pollen grains from the male plant were dusted on the stigma of the female plant, right? Till fertilization occurred and the seeds were produced till the plant was kept covered. ठीक है, जब सीड फॉर्मेशन स्टार्ट हो गया तो बैग वॉज रिमूव्ड, द सीड्स सो obtained were sown and those were the plants representing the first generation. ठीक है, and in order to get second generation, F2 generation, third generation, that is F3 generation, he performed self breeding. So हमको याद क्या रखना है कि एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के लिए सबसे पहले प्योर ब्रीडिंग पेरेंट्स होना चाहिए. नंबर 2, F1 जनरेशन कैसे मिलेगा? बाय परफॉर्मिंग क्रॉस हाइब्रिडाइजेशन बिटवीन द पेरेंट प्लांट. और एक F1 जनरेशन के बाद इन ऑर्डर टू गेट सब्सीक्वेंट जनरेशंस, F2 जनरेशन, F3 जनरेशन, देयर वेर सेल्फ ब्रीडिंग. ओके, देन ही परफॉर्म्ड different types of crosses like monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, trihybrid cross. What is a monohybrid cross? Mono means one. A cross between two parents plants in which inheritance of only one character was studied at a time. एक प्लांट में बहुत सारा कैरेक्टर होता है, लेकिन मेंडल actually concentrated on the inheritance of only one character at a time, and that type of cross was called as monohybrid cross. जैसे सपोज करो एक बार वो स्टडी किया हाइट ऑफ द प्लांट, सिर्फ हाइट ऑफ द प्लांट, not flower color, not pod color, not pod shape. So that type of cross is a monohybrid cross. Okay, likewise, what is a dihybrid cross? Di matlab two. So when inheritance of two characters are studied at the same time, it is said to be a dihybrid cross. And when inheritance of three characters are studied at the same time, the cross is called as a trihybrid cross. So Mendel performed monohybrid cross, he performed dihybrid cross, he performed trihybrid cross, he even performed reciprocal cross, right? What is a reciprocal cross? अगर एक क्रॉस में सपोज टॉल मेल प्लांट है और ड्वार्फ फीमेल प्लांट है, तो अगले क्रॉस में हम वाइस वर्सा उल्टा कर देंगे. टॉल विल बी कंसीडर्ड एज ड्वार्फ प्लांट एंड ड्वार्फ विल बी कंसीडर्ड एज मेल प्लांट. ठीक है, तो ऐसे क्रॉस को हम लोग बोलते हैं रेसिप्रोकल क्रॉस, जस्ट टू सी दैट वेदर इज इट गोइंग टू अफेक्ट द नेचर ऑफ रिजल्ट ऑफ क्रॉस और नॉट. ओके, नाउ मेंडल was successful in comparison to his predecessors, in comparison to the other scientists. Why? Because he selected only pure breeding varieties of pea plant for his experiment. Whenever he started his experiment, he started it with pure breeding or parents, which was not taken care of by his predecessors. Okay. Number 2, he took only 1 or 2 characters at a time for his breeding experiment. Remember, initially वो कितना character लिया था? 34 character. 34 से फिर वो कम किया तो 22 character, और उसके बाद उसको लगा नहीं ये भी problem हो सकता है, then he concentrated his studies only on 7 characters. ठीक है, और बाकी लोग क्या कर रहे थे? एक बार में बहुत सारा character एक साथ study कर रहे थे. Number 3, his experimental material, that is pea plant, proved to be an ideal plant. And why pea plant proved to be an ideal plant, we have already discussed. Okay. Number 4, he kept a complete record of every cross. Right? हर generation में उसका sampling साइज जो था बहुत बड़ा था. अगर 10,000 सीड मिला तो 10,000 सीड से सेकेंड जनरेशन में कितना कौन सा वैरायटी का मिला, हर रिकॉर्ड उसके पास था. ओके, he used statistical methods and laws of probability for analyzing his laws, right? And this was something very big. वो जो इतना commotion क्रिएट हो रहा था बाकी साइंटिस्ट के साथ, तो उसको वो चैनलाइज किया, right? And he actually framed his own way to explain the laws of inheritance to prove his theory, right? So before starting with the Mendel's laws of inheritance, let us just have a look on the symbols used or some terms related with it. Okay, so every character is represented by two unit factors, and these factors now called as genes, or दो unit factor है, what are they called? They are called as alleles, right? मतलब हर character को कंट्रोल करने के लिए कितना यूनिट, कितना जीन, कितना फैक्टर होता है, तो दो होता है. क्यों? बिकॉज वी आर डिप्लॉयड ऑर्गेनिजम्स. सो एवरी जीन हैज इट्स कॉपी, एवरी जीन हैज इट्स पेयर, जस्ट लाइक a chromosome. As a chromosome has its pair, just like in diploid organisms, all the genes have their pair, right? And these were called as factors by Mendel, and these factors only now called as gene. So how we will define factor? Factor is a unit of inheritance which controls a trait. You can ask one more thing, that here I have written character and here I have written trait. So what is the difference? Character is the phenotype, the morphological appearance, right? जैसे height, color is the character. But what type of height, whether it is tall or it is dwarf, that is called as trait. The inheritable character, the character which is shown by an individual, which is inherited by an individual, is called as trait. Height है तो कैसा height है, color है तो कैसा color है, that is called as trait. Okay, so these two words could be used as synonyms. Number two, another important form is alleles. What are alleles? Forms of a gene, right? As I have told, that just like a chromosome, in case of sexually reproducing organisms, in case of diploid organism, every chromosome has its pair. So just like that, every gene has a pair, right? And the forms of a gene, the forms of the same gene, are found at the same place on the homologous chromosome. Let me make this more clear. Suppose these are the paired chromosomes, एंड सपोज इस क्रोमोसोम पे और इस क्रोमोसोम में यहाँ पे जो जीन है ये हाइट के लिए है, तो उसके जो होमोलोगस पेयर होगा उसके बगल में सेम पोजीशन पे दूसरा जो जीन होगा वो किसके लिए होगा, तो सेम कैरेक्टर के लिए होगा, हाइट के लिए होगा, राइट? सो सिंस दीज आर मेकिंग अ पेयर, दिस इज अ जीन पेयर, सो अ जीन पेयर इज कॉल्ड एज allele. So what is an allele? Alleles are the forms of a gene which occupy the same locus, same position on the homologous chromosome. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि यहाँ पे अगर हाइट के लिए हो तो homologous pair जो है उसमें जो जीन है उसके बगल में वो कलर के लिए हो. That cannot be there, right? That is why these are called as alleles. ठीक है? और अगर ये हाइट वाला जीन है और अगर ये कलर वाला जीन है तो these are non alleles, right? और these are alleles. Clear? So how do we represent these alleles? These alleles are represented by means of alphabets. Followed? In case of characters, see, we have studied that every character is being expressed in its alternative form, has its alternative form. ठीक है, जैसे height, तो height के लिए जो alternative form है क्या है, तो that is tall and dwarf. ठीक है, तो out of this tall and dwarf, tall is dominant and dwarf is recessive, right? Flower position, axial and terminal, तो axial is dominant, terminal is recessive. Okay, likewise pod color green and yellow, so green dominant, yellow recessive. Pod shape inflated or full, constricted, so inflated or full is dominant, constricted is recessive, right? Likewise flower color violet, white, violet dominant, white recessive. Seed color yellow, green, yellow is dominant, green is recessive. Seed shape round and wrinkled, round is dominant, wrinkled is recessive. So how actually we assign that this character is dominant or this character is recessive? Very simple, the character which appears in F1 generation, जैसे tall और dwarf को जब हम क्रॉस किए तो F1 generation में later on you will study that all the plants will be tall, right? That means tall is dominant trait and dwarf is the recessive trait. Okay, likewise for flower color, suppose purple flower has been crossed with white flower and all F1 individuals are purple color, that means purple is dominant and white is recessive. ठीक है, तो डोमिनेंट ट्रेट को हमेशा हम लोग कैपिटल लेटर से एक्सप्रेस करेंगे, रेसेसिव ट्रेट को हमेशा हम लोग स्मॉल लेटर से एक्सप्रेस करेंगे, राइट? सो दीज लेटर्स बट हैव टू बी सेम अल्फाबेट, ठीक है? जैसे सपोज टॉल और ड्वार्फ, तो वी कैन टेक टी ऑफ टॉल और डी ऑफ ड्वार्फ, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं कि टॉल के लिए टी लेंगे, ड्वार्फ के लिए डी लेंगे. दिस इज रॉन्ग, दिस विल कॉम्प्लिकेट योर एक्सपेरिमेंट, योर रिजल्ट, ठीक है? तो अगर हम लेंगे तो या दोनों के लिए टी लेंगे या दोनों के लिए डी लेंगे. तो टॉल के लिए क्या लेंगे? कैपिटल टी यूज करेंगे और ड्वार्फ के लिए स्मॉल टी यूज करेंगे, right? Now out of the two alleles of a gene, the two alleles could be same or could be different. If the two alleles are same, we say it to be homozygous. जैसे ये भी homozygous है, capital T, ये भी homozygous है, small t. What is the difference? This is homozygous dominant, this is homozygous recessive, right? लेकिन अगर एक कैपिटल टी एक स्मॉल टी है तो दोनों अलग अलग तरह के एलेल हो गया, राइट? देन इट विल बी हेट्रोजाइगस और you may even call it hybrid, right? So two terms related with it are homozygous and heterozygous. Homozygous when both the alleles are same and heterozygous when both the alleles are different. So this much is enough for today. Next day we'll continue with, after this we'll start with the inheritance, one gene inheritance, okay, with the actual experiment conducted by Mendel, right? Thank you children.